God told me to go to Israel, and I'm going to tell you my testimony. So one night, I just started thinking about Israel a lot. I started looking it up on the internet, and I was looking up all the wars that were going on at the time. This was early 2023. Well, I actually ended up getting up the next morning, going to Whataburger, and I got there at 10:59, right before breakfast closed, basically. And I told him my name for the order. I said, my name is Gabriel. And I pulled up to the window and they said, order for Israel, and it was spelled Israel. And I was like, well, God's trying to give me a sign somehow that I'm supposed to go to Israel. So I show up to work and I see 2 hours later, I see my pastor standing outside. And I'm like, what? My pastor's outside? Hey, how are you doing? And I was like, what are you doing here? And he was getting his car serviced. I worked at a dealership. He was getting his car serviced, and he told me, he said, I told him the story about what happened at Whataburger earlier, and he said, they're actually planning a trip to Israel. And I said, oh man, God is speaking to me. He's telling me to go on this trip for sure. Right after that, about 3 months later, I prayed and I said, God, the trip is coming up in 3 weeks. My job's probably not going to let me go. Please give me a sign that I'm supposed to go. And 15 minutes later, I go inside the dealership and a guy walks in. And get this, I work around 15 other salesmen that they literally will run, 5 of them will stand outside waiting for a car to pull in. We're not busy at all, and there's about 12 salesmen on the floor. I'm in the back of the dealership. The guy makes it all the way through the door, and he comes in, and he walks all the way up to me. And I said, hey, my name is Gabriel, and he shook my hand, and he said, hey, my name is Israel. And this was 15 minutes later, and I said, oh man, I'm definitely supposed to go to this trip, 100%. And right after that, this was about 4 weeks before the trip, at the 2-week mark, I go to the tire shop to get my tires replaced. And I actually talked to this guy and I said, hey, I like your haircut. And he said, look up on Google, go ahead and go on Google, because my cousin works at this barbershop and his name is Israel. Go see him. And I was like, wow, God, I already know I'm supposed to go on this trip. Like, you're giving me all these confirmations, like God has a sense of humor. Right after that, this is the last confirmation. I end up, this is 2 weeks later, and this is at my church service this on Sunday, the last church service before the trip, 2 days before the trip. And I'm talking to this kid named Isaiah, and I tell him my testimony up into the tire shop part about how, God was sending me to Israel. These are all the confirmations I had. Well, as he was packing his bags and he was about to leave, the Holy Spirit told, I don't know what happened, but this kid was walking past me real fast, and I turned to him real fast and I said, hey, what's your name? I stopped him in his tracks. I said, what's your name? And I said, my name is Israel. And God literally testified of what I was saying was true to that kid that I was telling my testimony to. And so that is how God sent me to Israel. He gave me 7 confirmations to go to Israel. And that was one of the most mind-blowing testimonies I've ever had. I've never met that many people named Israel in 3 weeks. Like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to see more of my testimonies and my videos, just click that notification bell. You'll love the videos. God bless you. Love you.